Welcome back to Random City Sportsballers, fellas. Football season is upon us. Yahoo has opened their fantasy drafts for fantasy football. I have joined another league. This is my second league. It's actually my second draft. My first one was for $50, and I had 7th pick. Now, I didn't do a recording of that one, but it's only because I completely forgot to do a recording of that one. I had other things on my mind. It was my first fantasy football draft of the year. It was glorious. It's a pretty good team. I'll do another video breaking down how that team worked out. But this video here, I am pick number 5. Pick number 5. So this should turn out quite well. I'm very happy with being pick 5 in one of this year's Yahoo fantasy drafts. One of the players that normally get to you with pick 5, Austin Ekeler. Excellent guy to pick up right there, Austin Ekeler. You could also look at Saquon Barkley. You could take the risk on Bijan Robinson, but I mean that's taking a risk. You could take a risk and go Travis Kelce that early. You know, the number one tight end in the universe. That in this tight end wasteland that we live in for fantasy football, taking a Travis Kelce can be quite lucrative. Chase gets to me, which he probably won't. Justin Jefferson might get to me, probably won't. So I'm probably looking at Austin Ekeler. I'm not sure about Jonathan Taylor. There's this kind of thing going on. Their offensive line has been suffering lately, and I'm not in love with what they got going on their offensive line. But some teams to watch for this year. Detroit, oh my. I've been a lifelong Detroit Lions fan. And I've never been one of those people that's going, this is our year, we're going to do. But this year, holy crap, they have got some stuff going on, and I'm looking forward to putting some of those Detroit players on my team. I would take an Amon-Ra St. Brown. I would take a David Montgomery. I might take a risk on the rookie running back if it's a later pick, but he's going to go too early for that. Jameson Williams possibly, and then there's always Jared Goff. Don't underestimate Jared Goff as a backup quarterback. You might not want him as your top guy, but if you have him as your backup, that's going to work out kind of nice. Assuming you're the type that wants a backup quarterback. I have been burned in the past not having a backup quarterback, so I usually try to have a decent quarterback sitting on the bench waiting in case that injury happens. You never know. I'm thinking of Andrew Luck. That was the thing. I'm thinking of sometimes remember when Tom Brady went out at the beginning of the season? Nightmare. What about, well, you've seen it. It's quarterbacks. They get injured. It's just like anybody else. You can suffer an injury. But anyhow, so some folks that I'm looking at with this draft, trying to play early running backs, depending on what receiver might be available in the second round. In the second round, I don't know if I'm taking a Devontae Adams, but right here's Tony Pollard, Derrick Henry, Breece Hall, there's A.J. Brown. But we'll just have to see what gets back to me for the second round. And I'm going to play this one smart as I can. I don't have the first pick, so I don't have to worry about Christian McCaffrey or Justin Jefferson. They won't be on my team. It's not going to happen. So anyways, let's get started on this draft. I've got 18 minutes to go, so I'm going to start preparing. You know, while I've still got 17 minutes until the draft starts, I'm going to go take a look at some players, see what their performance was like last year, see if I can get some updates. But what we want to look at, we're looking at last season. Who was the number one guy outside of quarterbacks? Christian McCaffrey, followed closely by Justin Jefferson. Let's list this by fantasy points. There's Christian McCaffrey and Justin Jefferson. Other than that, it's all quarterbacks up here. But the difference in points, wow. We got 15 games played by Jalen Hurts, and he was obviously leading in points per game. Josh Allen at 409 with Patrick Mahomes at 428. Mahomes is the only one who played 17 games out of those three. And then there's Joe Burrow. I had him on a team last year, won my championship with Joe Burrow as my quarterback. That was one of those snuck in there with around 7 or 8 pick and got Joe Burrow. But then here's Austin Ekeler and Christian McCaffrey. Wow, the points that those two put up last year was phenomenal. So don't ignore Austin Eckler. I know a lot of people, for some reason, are always down on Austin Eckler, but if you've got the 5th pick and Austin Eckler gets back to you, jump on that. He's not old. He's still got his legs, and he's still performing at a high level. What is it, 107 receptions last year? That's insane. But Christian McCaffrey also had a great year switching teams, going from Carolina over to San Francisco. Wow, what a move for him. Ended up with only 13 total touchdowns compared to 18 for Austin Eckler. And keep in mind the difference in the receptions, 22 difference. So that's actually 11 points on the season is the difference there. But let's focus on wide receivers now, shall we? All right, we're looking at Justin Jefferson, Tyreek Hill, and Devontae Adams were the top 3. Stephon Diggs right in there with them. But Justin Jefferson, he had a phenomenal year. He was approaching 2,000 yards, had 128 receptions. And then Tyreek Hill, wow, 1,710 yards with 119 receptions. Shoot, boy, these guys, they put up some points, didn't they? And then Devontae Adams was just touchdown after touchdown last year. Stephon Diggs, great touchdowns, 108 receptions, 1,400 yards. These fellas did amazing. And then CeeDee Lamb. CeeDee Lamb came in to be the number 6 wide receiver, scoring a good set of points here for you. And then Jalen Waddle, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Amari Cooper, Devonta Smith. Huh. Is that our top 10? Yeah, Devonta Smith comes in at number 10. So these were WR1 guys, but not all WR1s are equal. Devonta Smith versus Justin Jefferson, that's 100 points difference almost. 97 points. That can be the difference between making and missing the playoffs. So when you're looking at someone like Devonta Smith and you're drafting him, he's a WR1, but you got to remember, he's not up there with those elite fellas. He's great. Don't get me wrong. I would be happy to have him or A.J. Brown on my team, either one. But given the points difference, I don't see why this year would be any different than last year. A.J. Brown might have lost a step, I suppose. I doubt it. I haven't seen anything showing any loss of step. I watched him play last year. He was great. But look at this Detroit Lions wide receiver, Amon-Ra St. Brown. Wow, what a season for that kid, too. 106 receptions, 1,100 yards, only 6 touchdowns, but he was the number 8 wide receiver. And Jamar Chase, wow. Jamar Chase played only in 12 games, but still had 198 points. You know, the thing with Jamar Chase, though, I don't know if he's going to have a complete season. I don't know. What did he do in his rookie year? 2021, 264 points. Wow. It's a great year. And then he lost 70 of those last year. I mean, he would have been a WR1. You don't know who's going to get hurt. You never do. You never do. It's a crapshoot out here, fellas. So best of luck. Go look through what you want to pick, because once you get here to down under Devonta Smith, how many points difference is it? Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Between the next 10, it's only 28 points difference, compared to a 100-point difference when you go from Justin Jefferson to number 10. When you go from 11 down to 20, it's only 28 points. And then it continues to narrow. I mean, it just gets to where you go, okay, any one of these top 25 would be fine. But then Zay Jones is only a few points under that. But it starts to fall off. The cliff starts to show. If you're sitting here and you don't have 2 of the top 25 receivers, you may be in trouble. You may be in trouble. So make sure you're looking at every position. So what if we look at tight ends? What a difference. You got Travis Kelce, who scored 261 points on the season, and then 90 points lower is the number 2 tight end, T.J. Hockenson. Below that, George Kittle, just below him. And then you've got the okay, the next 3 are okay, but then the wheels fall off, and everybody's the same person. They're all the same. So if you're not getting one of these top 3 or 4 guys, just take any of these. Pick your favorite. You don't know which one's going to have a good week. Maybe you stream tight ends trying to play for matchups. So what I normally do is, if I'm not getting Travis Kelce, I am definitely going to be going, okay, we might be streaming tight ends. Quarterbacks. Oh, my. Wow, I can't get over the year that Patrick Mahomes had. 5,250 yards, 41 touchdowns, and he ran for another 4 touchdowns. What a year. 428 points puts him far above anybody else. I mean, if you had Patrick Mahomes, it's good. You were in the playoffs, right? Congratulations, you made the playoffs. Then the playoffs gets all wonky. Everything goes weird in the playoffs. But I'd take any one of these top 4 right here. Any one of these top 4. Mahomes, Allen, Hurts, or Burrow. I'm not going to jump at Justin Fields, but I wouldn't be upset if that's what fell to me. Although Kirk Cousins is going to match him in points. Probably it is what it is, fellas. Will Justin Fields play the entire year? I don't know. What's going on with Tua and the multiple concussions he had? I don't know. Lamar Jackson, will he play a full season? No, he only played 12 games last year. Will he get the full 17? I don't know. Aaron Rodgers played all 17 and only scored 251 points. Justin Herbert. I mean, if Justin Herbert's your starting quarterback, you can't be too upset about that. That's decent points. But I'm saying the difference here, the 138 points for the season, that's what, 8 points per week? Patrick Mahomes, if you can get him on your team, you have to try. If not, Josh Allen is right there, and Jalen Hurts is waiting in the wings too. So, Joe Burrow is an opportunity. That's over the course of the season, Joe Burrow is going to be quite helpful. I still have 8 minutes till draft time. I am so excited about this. I have been ready for this draft because last week I had a draft. I was pick 7. Very happy with the results of it. If I tell you this, you might be like, what? But I ended up with Austin Eckler, Josh Jacobs, and Jalen Hurts as my first 3 picks. Austin Eckler, Josh Jacobs, Jalen Hurts. I can't wait to look over that draft with you guys. I'm worried about whether or not Austin Eckler gets back to me. I really would like to see Eckler get back to me. At number 5, I could see a case be made for the fact that he'll be on my team. I could also see someone taking him because they don't want Jonathan Taylor. They don't want Jamar Chase. Someone might take Saquon Barkley. I've seen it happen. Someone might take Travis Kelce. You don't know. Every draft is going to be different. So, wish me luck here, guys. We got 6 minutes. 2 minutes to draft time! We got 1 minute till the draft begins, folks. I am so happy that fantasy football season has started. I know you are too, or you wouldn't be watching this video. You're excited too, and you want your draft to go as well. I'm about to draft a playoff team, so wish me luck. Okay, we're back. 30 seconds. So I don't know how it's going to go, but I'm pretty sure the first 2. And first one was Justin Jefferson. I can understand it. He's a top wide receiver by far. So what's going next? Are you surprised McCaffrey made it to you? You might be surprised McCaffrey made it to you. Yep, he was surprised McCaffrey made it to him. Will it be Chase? Come on, who are you taking? He took... Wow, Bijan Robinson. Okay, that's bold. Take the rookie. Take the chance on the Atlanta rookie running back. Just let me have Eckler. Just let me have Eckler. Give me Austin Eckler. Okay. We're taking a while. It's a tough decision. I get that. There's a lot to go through. You're building around this choice. Nobody loses or wins the draft in the first round. You certainly are not gonna, because you know what? I've overcome first round injuries, season-ending first round injuries, and he took Austin Eckler. You bastard! Who are you? I am now your enemy, sir. Okay, well. Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Yeah, this is a tough pick for me. I really thought Eckler would get there, but he didn't. So I'm going to... Yeah. I took Jamar Chase. That'll work. With Eckler gone, Jamar Chase was my choice. That's the route that I took. I know you might not go that route. I could have taken Barkley, Jonathan Taylor, Nick Chubb. I wouldn't have been upset with most of the people in this list right here. But I have Jamar Chase because I did not get Austin Eckler, unfortunately. But we're building a great team around Jamar Chase. That's what we're doing. We're going to build a great team around Jamar Chase. So, who's the sixth pick going after? He went after Travis Kelce with pick 6. Cool choice, top tight end. And then went Barkley. And then there goes Jonathan Taylor. And what are we going to see next here? I expect, we got Tyreek Hill, Cooper Kupp, and Stephon Diggs. There goes Tyreek Hill. And, of course, there goes Cooper Kupp. So it's coming back around to me in 5 picks. What gets back to me? Don't know. It's a yo pick, fellas. It's a yo move. I get it, though. I took the full minute thinking about my pick. So I completely understand why it's taking you some time. Josh Jacobs, and then Nick Chubb. Huzzah. Derrick Henry. Tony Pollard. That's a Dallas pick, and I support that pick. So, right before me, what are you taking? He took... What did he take with his last pick? Jonathan Taylor, right? So, he's probably not looking at running back. He's probably looking over these wide receivers. And, yeah, there's some good receivers there, so he's not going to be disappointed. He took Patrick Mahomes, a bold move. So I guess I'll go after Stephon Diggs. Why the heck not? Might as well build up that wide receivers to the point of you can't touch this. Now to come back around to me here, I have some running backs I can choose from. I have some monstrosities at running back that I can choose from. What'll it be, though? What will it be? A.J. Brown, another receiver going off. So Wilson and then A.J. Brown. You can see Ramondre Stevenson went with 17th. And what's going to come back to me here? I got still 5 more picks. 4 picks now. Breece Hall just went. And there's Travis Etienne. Surely someone's going to take Devontae Adams. Surely. Oh, Jalen Hurts. Okay, reasonable. There's Devontae Adams. Surely he had to go. And Josh Allen was the pick. So let's take a look. At quarterback, we've got 3 of them gone, which leaves Jackson, Burrow. There won't be much left here soon. Let's go ahead and take a look at running backs. Who's available? There's some good players. Najee Harris, Kenneth Walker. I do like Najee Harris this year. Wide receivers have now been picked through. Everything is down to WR2s. At tight end, we got a lot of availability. And maybe I should look at kickers. Just kidding. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do with this pick here is go Najee Harris. They've got an improved team this year. I see Najee Harris improving on what he did last year. So that has me with Jamar Chase, Stephon Diggs, Najee Harris. Now the question is, what quarterbacks will come back to me? That's a good question. I have some options for later quarterbacks, but I really would like to get Joe Burrow. There's CeeDee Lamb, Amon-Ra St. Brown, and Kenneth Walker went before that. So, wide receivers are continuing to get more and more thin. Jalen Waddle is now gone. People are looking at WR2s. I'm trying to find someone who will be an RB1 in this wasteland that has now been just rummaged through. Okay, Mark Andrews now, second tight end off the board. He's good. Will he play the whole season? I don't know. I mean, I would not be disappointed to have Mark Andrews on my team. I'll say it. I would not be disappointed in that. So we're into round 4, and there went Madison. Oh, Madison from Minnesota. Wow, because Dalvin Cook might be changing teams. That could be an excellent pick. He may very well be the workhorse there in Minnesota. And if he's the workhorse, we know what Dalvin Cook did as the workhorse, and that's first-round numbers. That's RB1 for sure. So can Madison hold to that? All right, where were we here? We were looking for quarterback, Joe Burrow, right? So let's go ahead and make that happen, Captain. Joe Burrow. Thank you very much. We were talking about him before the draft and worked out to get him back to me. I appreciate that. So now I need to look at another running back. And I don't know what's available that's really worth the price. Dameon Pierce was having a good season, and I question their offensive line. Dalvin Cook, we don't have a clue what's going to happen with Dalvin Cook. Has anybody shown interest? No, he's been released, but nobody has shown interest yet. It doesn't show. Dolphins and Broncos are interested. Dolphins and Broncos. Okay. And we talked about, there's DK Metcalf who's gone. We talked about Jahmyr Gibbs from Detroit, the rookie running back. He's drafted 38th. And then T. Higgins went 39th. And there went T.J. Hawkinson. That's a decent pick for your tight end position. He's one of the better ones in the league. And now Justin Fields. I still don't know what's going to happen with him. I have a hard time trusting the Justin Fields play. Don't get me wrong. Justin Fields is a great ball player. But I'm playing fantasy football. And I'm trying to win my fantasy football league. I'm trying to draft the team that'll win it for me. What did Aaron Jones do last year? Aaron Jones did well last year, didn't he? Didn't have a lot of touchdowns, but he did all right. That's another thing. I'm looking at some guys. I'm talking about David Montgomery. I'm talking about... there went Dameon Pierce. I'm talking about some Detroit players that just wow me right now. Just wow. And Dalvin Cook just went. So, Dalvin Cook just went. It's my pick. I could choose Aaron Jones. Let's take a look at what's available at running back. Cam Akers, David Montgomery. There's Mixon. Oh, boy. Don't make me take Mixon. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and take Aaron Jones and hope that his touchdown production goes up this year. I will be grabbing A.J. Dillon as a backup for that. I mean, I understand already. You've got to have your backups. But this is looking good so far. Aaron Jones and Najee Harris, Jamar Chase and Stephon Diggs with Joe Burrow. It's looking good. There went Joe Mixon. See, that's exactly what I had been thinking right there, my friend. All right, so in wide receivers, some good wide receivers still available. So some of these receivers, Deebo Samuel, Keenan Allen, Tyler Lockett. Well, there went Deebo. DeAndre Hopkins, we don't know where he's going to land. Is he going to stay in Arizona to meet with the Patriots next week? He also plans to visit the Titans. So he's 31. He's 31 years old, and he's DeAndre Hopkins. Let's keep that in mind. This is not some guy that 31 is not a legend and future Hall of Famer. This is DeAndre Hopkins. So Justin Herbert, Chris Godwin, Keenan Allen, Javonte Williams, Calvin Ridley, DeAndre Hopkins, and it's my turn to draft. There are some good players staring at me here. One of which is this young Tyler Lockett. Tyler Lockett, who just always seems to put up right about 200 fantasy points. And Ayuk is having a good time last year. What do we got for running backs? Is there any rush here? I do want to have David Montgomery. And I don't think he gets back to me. No, I'm going to take Tyler Lockett because he definitely doesn't get back to me. There went George Kittle. See, I could have taken George Kittle, but man, I honestly believe I'm going to be streaming my tight ends this year. I just see that happening. Darren Waller. You know, Terry McLaurin quietly had a very good season. There's Isaiah Pacheco, the running back from Kansas City. Young fella is good, man. He can move. I love watching him play. There went DeAndre Swift from Philadelphia. Injury history, but, you know, he's got a good chance at making some points and yards happen in Philadelphia. He does. There went DJ Moore. And Terry McLaurin, yeah, he put up some good numbers last year. Only 77 catches, but 1,200 yards almost. He was 9 yards short of 1,200 yards for the season. That's a pretty good season to be having. Oh, so someone took him. That gives me David Montgomery. He got back to me. Excellent. I'll take David Montgomery. I think he's going to be a touchdown vulture. Now, he's not in practice right now, some undisclosed injury that the coach is like, it's nothing serious, so I'm also not worried about it. Oh, and sneaking up my list here, there's Christian Watson, who I'm keeping my eye on in Green Bay. That's a young player that is worth keeping your eye on. He could be something special. It all depends on, seriously, what will they... There went Kamara. Okay. I've seen the video, and I think Alvin Kamara is in some trouble. I've seen the video. It does not look good. Well, Dak Prescott, and then Kyle Pitts, and then Evan Ingram. So they're after some tight ends already. And so it comes to me again. I'm not sure where to go, but I think I'd like to take a look at what's available at tight end. Yeah, it's not worth taking anybody. Running backs. I'll keep an eye on Jamal Williams. What about wide receivers? Drake London, Ayuk, Christian Watson. Drake London, decent year last year. Ayuk had a good year last year. All right, so what's available at running back that I could look at early? I'm going to take James Cook. Now, some folks might not like my James Cook pick there. It's a little early. His average draft position would have been at least 1.5 rounds later. But here's the gig. I think that he's got a lot of potential in Buffalo this year. I think that I'm playing for the ceiling and not the floor in this situation. And I've already got 3 running backs in Harris, Jones, and Montgomery. I've got 3 excellent wide receivers in Burrow, Chase, Diggs, and Tyler Lockett. So I could take a chance on somebody, or I better mark A.J. Dillon for later in case there's an injury to my guy. But I'm taking a chance on somebody looking at what a possible ceiling is. And then on this way back, I may be able to grab Ayuk or Drake London or, well, Christian Kirk. I could be happy with Christian Kirk. Treylon Burks. And maybe it's time we look at a defense. What do we see for defenses? There's Dallas. Buffalo, Philly, Denver, Baltimore, New England. All right, Drake London and Brian Robinson and then Pickens. See, these are players that I was just not excited about. And Brandon Ayuk is gone, so that cuts back on that as an opportunity, but still leaves me Christian Kirk as a possibility. Christian Kirk, it is. Booyah. So, 4 really good wide receivers all the way down. And 4 really good running backs as well. I mean, James Cook, I could say we don't know, we're not sure. But I feel really great about what him and Montgomery are going to do this year. Now, I will have to use up one of my remaining bench positions on A.J. Dillon. I know that. I knew that going into this. As soon as I took Aaron Jones, I knew I had to take A.J. Dillon. Hopefully he gets back to me. Mike Evans, Tua, Rashad Penny. Again, I'm worried about Tua, though. He got beat up last year. And A.J. Dillon was just taken. It's unfortunate. So they're taking Antonio Gibson, Ezekiel Elliott. That means that running back has gotten nearly depleted. But there's still fellas. You could take Tyler Algier. You could take Donta Foreman. Because Foreman, he could get the lead. Oh, the Marquise Brown. And the Jets defense went as well. You know, still, there's no reason for me to take a tight end. Because they're all the same guy. Hold on a second, I got the phone running. So let's just go ahead and take the New England defense. Hello. How are you? Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Okay. All right, with this pick, I'm just going to go ahead and take Cole Kmet.
Nice.
And there we are. Okay, sorry, I'm in the middle of one of my drafts, and I'm recording it.
Fine. Okay.
All right, so with this pick, I might as well take my kicker now, and I'm going to go ahead and take Tyler Bass. Buffalo. Down into the bench positions that I'm filling in, and I'm going to look at Donta Foreman because he could take over the lead role easily in Chicago. Khalil Herbert has an injury history, so we'll take Donta Foreman and see if he takes over the role in Chicago.
Nice.
So now we're back into filling in another position on the bench, and there's one more guy in Chicago that could take over the job, and that's Rashawn Johnson. So I'm going to take that. We're coming up on finding out who is going to be the lead guy there. And that leaves me one position left to fill in a backup quarterback. So for my pick, I'm going to draft Jordan Love, quarterback from Green Bay. Where are you, Jordan? Jordan Love, quarterback from Green Bay, the young guy. I think he'll do good. With the draft ended, I'm looking at what they are telling everybody they're getting for projected points. Whoever Beast Mode is, I don't know. They must have taken a lot of rookies who don't have a projection yet. But this doesn't really help you know who's going to win the league, who's going to make the playoffs. It just tells you what you did against other players for each position on points. So let's take a look at my team's draft results. All right, let's take a look at what we ended up here with, fellas. We got Joe Burrow at quarterback, Jamar Chase and Stephon Diggs at wide receiver, Najee Harris and Aaron Jones at running back, Cole Kmet for tight end. My flex right now is Tyler Lockett with a choice for David Montgomery, James Cook, or Christian Kirk. Taking a chance on seeing who's going to win the job in Chicago between Donta Foreman and Rashawn Johnson, although Khalil Herbert has a pretty good lock on the job right now. Backup quarterback is Jordan Love from Green Bay. I have Buffalo's kicker Tyler Bass and the New England Patriots defense, who led the league last year in points from defenses. So don't underestimate. New England has always put together a good defense. So this is what I ended up with. I like this team. I'm happy with everything that I put on my team in every single way. The way that this worked out is bringing me a smile, and it's a lot of joy. So, yes, Stephon Diggs, will he put up the year that he had last year with 262 points? Probably. 1,400 yards, 11 touchdowns. I don't see why not. Jamar Chase, maybe he can play the whole season and continue on what he was doing last year. Najee Harris, I know the team has improved, so perhaps his numbers improve. Aaron Jones, again, it's a questionable situation, but it looks good for him so far. Tyler Lockett has always just done the same thing, just done really well. David Montgomery has a chance to put up some serious touchdowns in Detroit. James Cook, given a full season, let's see what he can do when he takes charge of the backfield. Christian Kirk had a great season last year. If he just repeats what he did last year, I'll be incredibly happy with that. So I'm very happy with what this team ended up like. Leave me your thoughts. I know you would probably want to be able to try your hand at a draft here coming up. And take that bull by the horns and get out there and get your first draft in. Start with some mock drafts, maybe do a free league. I've got another draft coming up on, I think, Wednesday for my Winners League. And good luck out there, fellas. Don't forget, have fun. This is all fun. Have fun.